One of the biggest mistakes you could be making in your personal and professional relationships is thinking that people just naturally like you, or that influence is something only natural-born leaders have. What if I told you that most people are completely missing the key behaviors that can instantly transform how others respond to them? And what if I also said that these are simple, practical principles you can apply today to build deeper connections, boost your career, and create lasting friendships? In this video, I'm going to share 6 powerful principles from Dale Carnegie's timeless classic, How to Win Friends and Influence People, principles that have worked wonders in my own life and career, helping me navigate everything from high-stakes business negotiations to everyday social interactions. Stick around to the end, because I'll also be revealing some exclusive tips drawn from my personal experience that turbocharge these principles, making them even more effective in today's fast-paced world. Why good communication fails. Have you ever been in a situation where, despite your best efforts, someone just doesn't seem to connect with you? Maybe you've poured your heart into a presentation at work, only to see blank stares from your audience. Or you've tried to resolve a conflict with a loved one, but it escalates into an argument instead. Or perhaps you've attempted to persuade a colleague or friend on an important idea, only to be met with resistance, indifference, or even outright dismissal. These frustrating moments happen far too often, and they can leave us feeling isolated, undervalued, and ineffective. The root cause? Most people focus almost entirely on what they say, the facts, the logic, the arguments, rather than how they make others feel. We get so caught up in our own perspectives that we forget the human element at the core of every interaction. But here's the game changer. Dale Carnegie, in his groundbreaking book written nearly a century ago, showed us that true connection and influence aren't about fancy words, clever debates, or overwhelming charisma. They're about genuine human understanding, tapping into the universal desires we all share for respect, appreciation, and empathy. The principles I'll share with you today will not only help you win friends, but also earn lasting respect and influence in every area of your life. Whether you're a student trying to build a network, a professional aiming for that promotion, or simply someone who wants richer relationships, these timeless strategies can transform how people perceive and respond to you. Let's dive in and explore them one by one. Principle 1. Don't criticize, condemn, or complain, expanded with additional. Let's kick things off with Principle 1. Don't criticize, condemn, or complain. This might sound straightforward, but it's one of the hardest habits to break because criticism often feels like the quickest way to fix a problem. However, Carnegie teaches us that it almost always backfires. Let's start with a compelling story from one of the greatest CEOs in history, none other than Abraham Lincoln. Early in his career, Lincoln publicly criticized someone in a letter, which led to a dual challenge. He learned the hard way that criticism breeds resentment. Later, as president, when his generals made costly mistakes during the Civil War, instead of berating them, he focused on encouragement and solutions, preserving morale and loyalty. In modern times, think about a legendary business leader like Steve Jobs. While known for his intensity, Jobs often tempered his feedback to avoid outright condemnation, focusing instead on inspiring innovation. Why is this principle so powerful? Because everyone, yes, every single person wants to feel valued, not attacked. When you refrain from criticism, you keep the lines of communication positive and open, allowing for real dialogue and growth. Imagine applying this in your daily life. Instead of snapping at a coworker for a missed deadline, ask questions like, what challenges came up, and how can we tackle this together? You'll be amazed at how defenses drop and collaboration skyrockets. But remember, avoiding criticism doesn't mean ignoring issues. It means addressing them constructively, with empathy at the forefront. Now that we know how criticism can kill connection and shut down opportunities for meaningful exchange, it begs the question, what should we replace it with to foster that positivity instead? This leads us seamlessly into our second principle, which flips the script from negativity to something far more uplifting. Principle 2. Give honest and sincere appreciation. In a world where criticism is all too common, genuine appreciation stands out like a beacon. Carnegie emphasized that people crave appreciation more than money, status, or even praise, because it's about recognizing their inherent worth. Imagine transforming your workplace or social circle if everyone genuinely acknowledged each other's contributions. It doesn't just spark motivation and loyalty. It creates a ripple effect of positivity that boosts productivity and happiness. Let me share a personal story to illustrate. Early in my career, I was leading a team on a tight project deadline. Instead of just assigning tasks, I made it a point to send quick notes of appreciation for specific efforts, like thanking a designer for their creative flair or a developer for debugging under pressure. The result? The team not only met the deadline but exceeded expectations, with everyone feeling more invested. Think about applying this at a recent job or at home when someone thanks you sincerely for something small, like making dinner or helping with a report. Doesn't it uplift your entire day and make you want to do even more? To make it practical, start small. Notice the barista who remembers your order and say, "I really appreciate how you make my mornings brighter." Honesty is key. Insincere flattery will be spotted a mile away and can do more harm than good. When done right, this principle builds bridges that last a lifetime. Now, once you have that flow of appreciation creating a foundation of trust and goodwill, how do you take it a step further to deepen those connections and align motivations? The next principle reveals how to shift from self-focused interactions to truly collaborative ones, building on the empathy we've started to cultivate. Principle 3. Arouse in the other person an eager want. This is where the magic of influence truly begins. Rather than pushing your own agenda or trying to sell your ideas forcefully, Carnegie urges us to see the world through the other person's eyes. Understand what they truly desire, be it recognition, security, adventure, or success, and frame your suggestions in a way that helps them achieve it. It's not manipulation, it's mutual benefit. I once convinced a skeptical client to invest in a new marketing strategy by first listening to their core needs, growing their customer base without risking their brand's integrity. Instead of touting my plan's features, I showed how it aligned perfectly with their goals, making them excited about the possibilities. The deal closed not because I persuaded them, but because they wanted it for themselves. Another classic example comes from fishing. You don't bait the hook with what you like, say strawberries. You use what the fish wants, worms. Apply this in negotiations, parenting, or sales. Ask yourself, what's in it for them? And watch resistance melt away. This principle turns potential conflicts into enthusiastic partnerships, fostering win-win outcomes that strengthen relationships over time. With appreciation flowing and motivations aligned, we've set the stage for deeper bonds. But there's an even more fundamental skill that underpins all of this, one that turns casual interactions into magnetic, meaningful relationships. Let's explore how genuine curiosity can elevate your connections to new heights. Principle 4. Become genuinely interested in other people. In our self-centered digital age, where everyone is broadcasting their own stories, standing out means shifting the spotlight. People can instantly tell when your interest is authentic versus fake or self-serving. By taking the time to learn about their passions, challenges, dreams, and even quirks, you create relationships that feel alive and reciprocal. For example, instead of dominating a conversation at a networking event, ask about a colleague's weekend plans, their latest hobby, or what excites them about their work, not because you need something from them, but because you truly want to know. I remember interviewing for a job where I spent most of the time asking the interviewer about their career journey. It turned the tables and I got the offer because they felt valued. The benefits: stronger trust, better insights into how to support others, and a network that supports you in return. To cultivate this, practice active curiosity daily, read about diverse topics, listen to podcasts on human stories, and make it a habit to remember details from past conversations. Authenticity here isn't just nice, it's transformative. Once you're genuinely interested in others and showing it through your words and actions, communication starts to flow more naturally. But even the best intentions can falter without the right nonverbal cues. How do you keep things positive, warm, and inviting, especially during disagreements or first impressions? Our next principle offers a simple yet profound tool that's accessible to everyone. Principle 5. Smile. It might seem almost too basic, but smiling is a universal language of warmth, approachability, and positivity. It disarms tension, breaks the ice, and creates instant rapport, even on your toughest days. Fun fact: studies from psychologists like those at the University of California show that smiling releases endorphins and serotonin, not just for you but also contagiously for the person you're interacting with, making everyone feel happier and more connected. Think about a time when a stranger's smile turned your mood around in a crowded elevator or during a stressful meeting. In my experience, starting client calls with a genuine smile, even over video, has diffused potential conflicts and opened doors to better collaboration. Apply it everywhere, in emails with emojis, in person at the grocery store, or during family dinners. Remember, a forced grin won't cut it. Let it come from that place of genuine interest we've discussed. Over time, this habit can shift your entire demeanor, making you someone people naturally gravitate toward. Finally, with a smile lighting the way and genuine interest guiding your interactions, you're primed to encourage deeper sharing. But how do you turn one-sided talks into enriching dialogues? Our last principle focuses on the art of drawing others out, ensuring that conversations are balanced and fulfilling for everyone involved. Principle 6. Be a good listener and encourage others to talk about themselves. Contrary to popular belief, the greatest conversationalists aren't the ones with the wittiest remarks. They're the attentive listeners who make others feel heard. Show sincere interest by asking open-ended questions like, what inspired you to pursue that? Or how did that experience shape your views? And give them ample space to share without interrupting. Story. In high-level meetings, leaders like Oprah Winfrey or top CEOs gain immense respect and buy-in by listening more than speaking, uncovering hidden insights and building unbreakable loyalty. Personally, I've used this in tough negotiations. By letting the other side vent and share their story first, solutions often emerge organically. To master this, practice reflective listening. Paraphrase what you've heard to show understanding. Like, it sounds like that was really challenging for you. Avoid steering back to yourself too quickly. The payoff? Deeper insights, stronger empathy, and relationships where people feel truly seen and valued. Personal tips to supercharge these principles. Now here's where my personal experience comes in. Applying these principles isn't about perfection. It's about consistency, authenticity, and small daily practices that compound over time. Tip 1. Before responding in any conversation, pause and ask yourself, how does this person want to feel right now? Valued, understood, or inspired? This simple mental check has saved me from countless missteps. Tip 2. Keep a gratitude journal, where you note one thing you appreciate about someone each day. This builds your mindset of sincerity and makes appreciation second nature. I started this habit years ago, and it's revolutionized my interactions. Tip 3. Practice the asking questions technique in every encounter. People love to talk about themselves, so give them the space. Aim for a 70-30 listen-to-speak ratio. In my networking events, this has turned acquaintances into allies. Bonus tip 4. Combine principles by starting with a smile, showing interest, and appreciating their input mid-conversation. I did this during a family reunion that could have been tense, and it turned into one of our best gatherings. Tip 5. Reflect weekly on your interactions. What went well, and where could you apply these more? This self-awareness turbocharges growth. Remember, these have helped me navigate everything from tough workplace conversations and building strong friendships to influencing positive outcomes in business deals. They're not just theory, they're proven tools for real-life success. If you found these principles as powerful and life-changing as I do, hit that subscribe button right now and ring the notification bell so you never miss a video that can elevate your personal and professional life. Drop a comment below telling me which principle you're going to use first, maybe avoiding criticism in your next meeting or smiling more during calls, and share your own stories if you'd like. I'd love to hear how these have worked for you or any challenges you've faced. And here's a teaser for what's coming. In the next video, I'll dive into advanced techniques on how to apply these principles in leadership and business settings with real-life examples from top CEOs like Elon Musk and influencers who've mastered human connection. You won't want to miss it. It's packed with actionable strategies to take your influence to the next level. Remember, influencing people isn't magic. It's mastering the art of genuine human connection. Start practicing these principles today, one small step at a time, and watch your relationships transform into sources of joy, support, and success. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.